Hello, this week we're talking about decision making. Of course, we make decisions all the time. We don't even think about it a lot of the time. Do I want this one or that one? Do it now or do it later? These are very easy decisions to make. We don't need to think about it. We can just rely on our preferences, our past experience, our general knowledge, and it's virtually a snap decision. But in other situations, you do have to make more complex decisions or consider a wider variety of factors when you are making decisions. And in these cases, you would need to use some decision-making tools. Now, I want you to think about a decision-making tool that you personally have used in the last 10 days or so. And I want you to pause the video for a couple of seconds while you think about it. Then when you start the video again, I will tell you what decision-making tool it is that you were thinking about. Okay, pause the video. Ooh, now we're back. And the decision-making tool that you were thinking about was a SWOT analysis. This helped you to decide whether or not to recommend that your client invests in a business. And the analysis gave you the information that you needed to make this decision. You could identify areas of problems or areas of possible benefit and predict what things could be done to take advantage of or to mitigate these factors. So you used a SWOT analysis to help you make a yes-no decision, but taking into consideration a variety of factors. There are other decision-making tools. We know about SWOT, brainstorming, not really a decision-making tool, but it does help you to generate ideas to inform your decisions. The ones that we're going to be looking at here are quite commonly used, and we'll start with the decision tree. So a decision tree will help you to make a decision when there are a series of choices to be made, when there are alternatives. You could do this, or you could do that, or what if this happened, or what if that happened. So this is a decision tree, and on the tree there are branch nodes and leaf nodes. So the branch nodes are where the decisions are made. After the branch node, wind, humidity, weather, you can see that it splits into two or more. And these give you alternatives. What would happen if? So would we play badminton tomorrow if there was a strong wind? And the leaf node, the outcome is no, we wouldn't. So that's the end of the tree. So decision-making trees can help you to make complex decisions where there are a variety of alternatives that you could take or events that could happen. Another way to look at a decision is time management. General Eisenhower, a US military general who was also the president of the United States later on, was, as you can imagine, very busy, and he needed to prioritize his time. So he developed the urgent, non-urgent matrix, and he's got this quadrant here, four quadrants, in the matrix, and they're either urgent or not urgent, important or not important. If something is urgent, of course, do it straight away. If something is important, it means that it is advancing you towards your final goal, your aim, your desired outcome. So it's important that you do it. So what could be not urgent and not important? Well, I don't think it would be a task. It would be social media, watching TV, snacking, and while these things are definitely useful for general health and well-being and happiness, they shouldn't really get in the way of your tasks. So they're not important, they're not urgent, so you don't need to do them. The next one is urgent but not important. So what kind of things can be urgent but not important? Other people's problems are urgent but not important. People want you to do this for them, have to sign that, or go over here, pick up that. It might be urgent for other people, but it's not urgent for you. So maybe it's urgent because it's there in your face and they want you to do it, but it's not important for you. So, if possible, delegate it to a later date or somebody else to do it, right? Or the next one would be not urgent, but important. So things that are not urgent, you don't have to do them right now, but they are important, would be maybe planning the schedule for next year, planning the marketing strategy for next year, planning the budget for next year, taking the car for its service, booking a car in for its service, booking yourself in for a health check. These kind of things, they are important, but you could do it today or do it next Wednesday, it would be all right. And then finally, we have things that are urgent and are important. So these ones you have to do right away. So this is a time management tool to help you with decision making, how to prioritize your decisions. And then the last one that we're going to look at is a balance sheet approach. And we've all done this, actually. We've all done this. Written down all the pros, written down all the cons, and whichever list is longer is the one that you do or don't do, depending on how you feel about it. But this is a little bit more specific, and it does help you realize really what you should be doing or not be doing. So in this example, it's create a website. And you can see that each of the pros or cons has a number attached to it, and the higher the number, the more important it is. So -4 is actually a high number, right? So implementation cost is high, so it's -4. But also in the cons, requiring time for implementation, that's a low number, 1. So yeah, it's an issue, but it's not an important issue. So you apply a numerical value to each of the pros and each of the cons, and you add them up, and then wherever the balance lies, that's what you do. And in this case, the balance lies with the pros. So not only there may or may not be more or fewer reasons, but the importance of these reasons becomes clearer. I recommend, with this kind of thing, don't use 5 as your top number, use 4, because then in your mind, you've got to come down on the side of pro or con. You can't plumb right in the middle, but that's up to you, of course. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to, you can think about something, a decision you need to make or want to make, and then once you know what decision you have in mind, what tool would be best applied? You're going to do a step-by-step. Is it time management, or do you want to do analysis of advantages? What's going on? And then apply the tool to your decision and briefly share your findings in the comments, and we can talk about it there. So I did one because we're all in lockdown, but I really do want to go to the beach. I do, I just want to. So I have been thinking about it, and I think you shouldn't, but when I did the balance sheet approach and had a look, then very clearly I shouldn't. It's got quite a lot more disadvantages. The weight of the disadvantages is more than the weight of the pros, the cons and the pros. So I'm not going to do it. You can do this too and just share your results if you want to. Very brief summary in the comments. What's your decision? This is how I would have written mine up. What's your decision? What tool did you use and why? And then did it turn out like you expect? And put it in the comments, we can talk about it. We've got the Google Docs up. You can put questions in the Google Docs as well, and you can email your tutors. All right. Talk to you a lot during the week, I suppose. See you soon.